So we finally have some news about the Nintendo Switch 2, the release date and the price, full specs right here. This is what it looks like, and it looks pretty similar. It has a bigger screen than the original Nintendo Switch. Now, my problem with the original Nintendo Switch is these thumbsticks, they were just awful to play any kind of video game with, especially any first person shooters, which there wasn't much on the Nintendo Switch. They were small and they were not fit for adult hands. Like this controller is great. And then the backside of the Nintendo Switch, we really can't see it on here, but I really do hope they upgrade it a little bit so it does look more like a traditional controller on the back where you're gripping it. My Steam Deck is absolutely awesome for this. When I'm playing games, it doesn't seem like there's any difference between it on a controller versus my Steam Deck. And I hope they do something with the Nintendo Switch here. It's kind of difficult to say based off just this picture alone, but that would be a massive upgrade, especially when there's going to be Call of Duty coming out on Nintendo Switch. I want those bigger thumbsticks, and I want a decent L2 like a R2 button where it's just a trigger. Like, come on, Nintendo, do something about that. So if we're looking at the specifications, it's coming out June 5th, and it's going to be priced at $450. But it's going to come with a 7.9-inch screen, HDR, up to 120 frames per second, 4K when you're in the docked mode, and it's going to be a massive upgrade. So the previous one was only a 6.2-inch display. So that's quite a bit of an upgrade. So let's scroll on down, and it's going to be an LCD screen instead of OLED. So for me, this is a good thing because the OLED screens, they really hurt my eyes. I don't know, you like looking at iPhone or just like a regular Samsung phone, my eyes hurt so quick. I always wear computer glasses for that reason. I use LCD for everything else. And this is good news for me. I don't use my Steam Deck much anymore because the OLED screen, within an hour, my eyes are just toasted for a week. So LCD, for some people, that will be a relief because the PWM, what is that, pulse width modulation of the screen, causing a lot of flickers. LCD doesn't really have that in the same capacity. It seems like it's much better with those. And my LCD TCL screen, my TV behind me, the visuals on that, the colors are very vibrant. It looks great. And the overall screen detail on my OLED Samsung TV does look better, but the colors look better on my LCD TV. So that's definitely a preference right there. Some people will hate it. They'll like it. One thing that popped out to me right here, a mouse mode using Joy-Con 2 in compatible games. So what does that really mean? Does that mean it's mouse compatible? It seems like it's just mouse compatible with your Joy-Con 2. I was kind of hoping like if you're going to be playing some sort of MOBA or something like that, if they come out with a game like League of Legends or something, you can just use a mouse, keyboard, boom, you're good. Or if it's an MMORPG, so I'll have to get more information about that specifically. Now it does list the larger SL and SR buttons, so your R2 and your L2 on a standard controller. So the bigger analog sticks as well. They should be like a traditional size here. Maybe that's why they made it overall bigger from 6.2 to 7.9. So we'll have to see exactly how good that is for me to have a positive response about that. But if they made it bigger, that's already like an improvement over the original. Better speakers, a built-in microphone for voice chat. That is actually going to be helpful if you're playing Fortnite or something like that, to actually have a microphone to speak to people. Otherwise, it's just silent. 3D audio. I've used that on my PlayStation. I really don't notice a huge thing with that. It's kind of cool. Well, it's not a huge difference for me personally. A larger and stronger stand to support the console at various angles. Okay, cool. Let's look at the stand. Okay, it's a beautiful stand. One thing I'm kind of excited about is all the different like mod supports. Like if you go on Amazon, you can buy all these different like mold forms for it, so you can get like a different kind of like when it's in handheld mode. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll be interested to see what comes up with that. Let's look at some of those on Amazon. Switch. How do you say it? Handle controllers. So I was looking a lot at these the other day, like which one would I want for me personally. So you can kind of make it look like a Steam Deck. You can get different thumbsticks on there, different R2 buttons. So if you're not personally satisfied with what comes with it, you have all these different options. So like this one. This one I thought was the coolest. It looks like a regular like Game Boy. You just slide your Nintendo Switch in there. What is that? Game Boy Advance? Oh my gosh, I love that back in the day. So yeah, yeah. So if you don't like how it looks, you just buy a different one. But here's one thing that kind of like 250 gigabytes of storage. So if you have a PlayStation or Xbox, 250 gigabytes of storage is not sufficient to be played Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto. Like you can literally only have one game on your Nintendo Switch if that's the case. And I believe Call of Duty is going to be coming out. I think I saw that somewhere. So I don't know what kind of storage they have for this. If you can slide an SSD or something like that, or if it's going to be like SD cards again. But that is not a lot at this point. And it says a new dock that supports 4K output, HDR for TV mode. So we have some good information that, a positive change overall from the base version. And let's say one interesting addition is the mouse mode that can be used in supported games, allowing players to interact differently. Sound quality has improved, better speakers, better microphone, etc. So, just looking at what they have listed, it's definitely an upgrade over the original one. Most people probably like this, but they probably won't like this. The price. $449. So $450. I don't know if they'll come out with the regular Nintendo Switch where they don't have the dock mode. It's just like one thing. That was cheaper. Let's look at that. The Nintendo Switch handheld mode or whatever that's called. But I believe that was like $150 less. So yeah, here it is. Nintendo Switch Lite is what it was called. $200. That is a lot better price point than what we have currently. So this one here is $300 for the regular Nintendo Switch. So if they can do like a Nintendo Switch 2 Lite, we'll see, and get that price point around like $270, that would be huge. I don't know if they'll do that or what their plans are for that, but $450 for your kids just to play. Oh, do you really consider this like a full-fledged console experience like you would for your Xbox or whatnot? I don't know. It depends on the games. That's really what it comes down to. If I could play the same games as I do on my Xbox, my PlayStation, I saw Elden Ring's coming out for us. So $450, I could justify that for myself. But if you're like someone buying this for your kids or something like that, that's a lot of money. Then you got to get like the extra controllers, and I don't know if you got to get the membership online too to play. I don't know if you can play free to play games on this yet. We'll see. But yeah, that could be a lot. You're spending like $600 just to play your Nintendo Switch, buying a game, extra controller. Yeah, that's a lot. So we'll see. But promising so far, I'll definitely be getting it and I'll be checking it out. So hopefully this quick little video did indeed help you guys out.